it's a mix. It's like if you heard Caribbean Jamaican
Yeah.
music, you'll know what Shaggy's like. Oh, he got big when he did the music for the Levi's advert.
Oh, let me look at. I gotta look this up. Shaggy. Shaggy. I wonder if he got a G plus page.
He will. He's quite big. He's not so big anymore, but yeah. Look up the
Oh,
Levi's advert. Levi's advert.
oh,
Bombastic.
okay. He's got the.
They call me Mr. Bombastic.
Oh yeah, I remember him now. Yeah, Shaggy. Yeah. Okay.
Let
He's
me let me pull him up for you.
okay. I got him on G plus. And it's like I'm really not sure what he does. I'm not up on the Rastafarian music and the.
Nobody was. It's just he found
Oh,
a niche in the market.
oh yeah, it says he's a blah, 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 a Jamaican American reggae fusion singer and
Yeah, there you
DJ.
go.
Yeah,
Fusion.
bombastic, hotshot. But now I know I've heard bombastic, but
I've linked you the advert. You can go watch that. But that's how he got big, and then people loved him after that.
okay, yeah, yeah. Some of those guys are really interesting. I used to like, well, there was a lot of Jamaican kind of fusion bands that came around in the early periods of MTV and that. I can't remember all their names. God, if I had to pull them up, it would be hard for me.
Oh, MTV launched a whole new type of a pop star because along came the music video. Michael Jackson and Status Quo was it that did Money for Nothing
Oh
and
yeah,
Max Headroom. A couple of guys released some. And Peter Gabriel as well, Sledgehammer.
Sledgehammer. Yeah, I like
And then
Sledgehammer.
all of a sudden, the music pop video was the launching platform for people's careers. So if you could do a really good music video, that sort of launched your career.
One of my favorite Mgtow guys were back there, and that kind of Peter Gabriel thing was Robert Palmer.
Oh, I remember Robert Palmer.
Yeah,
Didn't he do that video pop video with all the women with the heavy lipstick?
yeah, with the heavy lipstick and the weird look and everything. But he does a few like Johnny and Mary and stuff like that, and he's observing the relationship thing in the video, and it's real Mgtow. And what he says is he's just like you know what he says in a Johnny's always running around that stuff, and then Mary's always combing her hair and trying to figure him out and shit.
Mm.
And it's just kind of Mgtow stuff. Plus, he's a handsome guy, isn't he?
You
I mean,
think?
yeah, man, girls go nuts over that guy. Go to his what is that one song? When he's sitting up there with his band and he kind of winks staring it at and then the girls all on the page. There's thousands and thousands of
I can never tell what girls are into. I mean,
yeah, I think
what's
it's
his name?
him. I mean, if I
George
had,
George Clooney's like supposed to be like the
oh yeah,
number one top good looking guy for Western women, but I would have thought it would be more like James Franco or something like that.
yeah,
What James
James
Franco would
Franco,
be?
yeah, yeah, they love James Franco. They like James Franco, and I just watched that thing you put up today with the James Franco.
Oh, I just watched that film. I thought I had to put that clip on. I was afraid they
Yeah,
might pull it down, but
with
I
that,
think a few other people have put that clip up. But I've got the longest clip, so
yeah,
you can see it
that's
into context.
it's Emma Watson rape
I
thing,
know.
and yeah, that was a great movie. But I was
Oh,
trying to
did you
figure.
have you seen it?
Oh yeah, I've seen it. I watched that. I think it's on Netflix. I think.
It's nice because it's very very like a typified caricatured American culture bromance. It's really cheesy to the point that it is quite funny. I mean, when they come like complete circle, because like when something's funny and then they make it cheesy and then they make it so cheesy, it goes completely
It goes. It
360
goes
and it's
funny.
funny again.
Yeah, yeah. Who was the one the dorky guy in that they killed? I can't remember his name. He does all those sissy love movies.
Uh, the romance. I don't know.
Yeah.
What Seth Rogen?
No, not Seth Rogen. The one that was snorting all the coke.
I think all of them were doing it except for that
Oh,
for the Christian guy.
yeah. They went to the party at first, and then the one guy was just snorting. He was just a dorky. You know, he's
Oh, the guy that played Mark Zuckerberg in.
yeah, he played Mark Zuckerberg.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah,
Yeah, he's got that. I don't know about you guys, but he's got that face that's really annoying. It's like
yeah,
as
yeah.
soon as you see him, he's immediately dislikable. There's
Mhm.
not many people I can say that about. As soon as you see him, you go, "This is a guy I'm not going to like."
Yeah, he'd be really popular on YouTube, wouldn't he? It's like that kind of guy that just irritates you
That's
just a
right.
little.
What's going on? It's like all these annoying, super annoying, stupid, anti-feminist atheism plus
Oh yeah,
PewDiePie, cringy shoe on head type of a. I mean, how is it these guys just? I don't know. I think it's because YouTube's main demographic is little 10-year-old, 11-year-old girls.
yeah.
So
It kind of angles itself at autism.
yeah, they clinch the autism crowd. That's what they do. They get hold of
Yeah,
that.
yeah. That's we only got like 4 people in Mgtow oracles and a Mgtow oracle. You know, send them a. Yeah, but I don't know what to do today. I didn't know what to talk about. I was just wondering
Well,
if I
what's
should.
on your mind, Trav?
What was
What's
on?
been bothering you lately?
Yeah, I just want to poon a tard today.
Oh
We
well,
just
there's
that's what I was.
many a
Yeah,
target for you to choose.
it's like Skeptor or Computing Forever or our favorite. And you know, I got to mention him on every single podcast is Alex Brown. It's like our favorite tard.
Our favorite tard, the star tard,
He's the star tard. Yeah,
star tard.
he was pacing again this week in front of his complex, bitching about Messenger, and Messenger was like, Messenger has done nothing except for make really fine quality videos.
I know. Messenger is his main target. I don't know. There's like certain troll channels that have their favorite target, isn't there? And I think
Yeah,
Messenger's Mr. Brown's favorite target.
yeah. And then I went to that fake Messenger account today, and it just set me off. What is that account called again?
Blood pressure rising. Just one sec.
Yeah, blood pressure rising, and it just set me off because he targeted 3 people in there, and one of the 3 people were me, and then No Holds Barred in Messenger. And out of these 3 guys, I can't see anything wrong with their character or their quality of their material. So it's I wonder about whether his intentions are good about Mgtow, and I'm sure he thinks that in his bizarre reality, he thinks his intentions are good.
Oh, who's
Alex
intention?
Brown, yeah.
Oh yeah. I don't know. I think
What kind
these
of
guys.
bizarre? Yeah, what kind of bizarre reality is that? Now we've heard this week Skeptor came out. Skeptor, what is Armored Skeptic?
Yeah, I'm a skeptic. Who is Skeptor? I'm
Or,
thinking who's Skeptor?
yeah, now there's another one that's Skeptor, and I don't want to confuse Skeptor with the Armored Skeptic.
Let me see who Skeptor is.
Yeah. Now he said what he was doing he felt was good for the community. So he was coming from an out group community, and then coming into Mgtow, pooning what he felt was the low ball. He was cherry picking what he felt was low ball, and pooning them and saying that he was the guy that was doing us a favor. And that logic is just weird. But we get that from the retarded end way up to these guys, which they feel they can come into Mgtow and do whatever the fuck they want, like they do in their community.
He's sort of like comedy, cringy comedy channel first, and informational altruist last, isn't it? It's like got that right down at the priority. And if he gets like some type of a moral message out or some type of intelligible wisdom, I think that's just a bonus for his kind of audience, who, let's face it, are 11-year-old girls.
Now I listened to the Computing Forever video, and I got 3 minutes and 46 seconds into that video, because he came out and immediately said Mgtow is getting to be cultish, and then he was talking about 3 minutes in. He was talking about his adventure with Stardust, And he said he won't do another video with Stardust because he felt the quality was. And then he used a word. What was it? Copulate? You have to go back and listen to it. And
Capitulate.
No, what it means is, he says when he was using it in a wrong form. And what it means is, let me see if it's still on my
well, he's not very good at English because he doesn't know what the word ideology is. I mean, the fact that he's talking about anything or has points on anything is based around some ideological idea. So some ding dong came to his defense when I put that comment on, but he's he can't be a serious channel. I don't know how these guys get their numbers. Like I said, that they must be getting hold of that 11-year-old girl audience, which I'm sure will please Alex Brown.
Yeah, which what might please Alex Brown. Now I was looking at his stuff today, and it's just bizarre, and it's just way bizarre. And
I don't know. Should we feel sorry for these guys? Should we feel sorry, or I mean, what should our attitude be towards? I mean, the thing about Alex Brown and the difference between Alex Brown and that other guy, what's his name? Skeptical Skinnick.
Yeah.
No. Armor Skinnick.
Armor Skeptic. Yeah, Armor Skeptic. Yeah, Armored Skeptic.
Well, that's how much you think about these guys.
Yeah. I got that saved somewhere where and boy, there's a lot of stuff on this video. I gotta
okay, let's just find out who that guy is now.
Yeah. I got it in a word, what he said, in the word he said. But what it means is from a theological point, from a group of religious people. So he identified himself as a group, a religious person, but he's an atheist, and he says Mgtow's a cult, but then he goes on to say he's a cult. And I said, well, are you a zealot?
He's a hypocrite. That's what he is.
He's a hypocrite in what he is, and then he doesn't. You can see he edits because his head jerks around once in a while, but he doesn't. I mean, to miss that within the first 3 minutes of your video and then call Mgtow a cult was just moronic.
He doesn't have a leg to stand on, that guy, does he? He doesn't.
Yeah, he sounds great. He's got the classic English voice, and that always helps doing videos. And he's got the classic speech and all that.
I'm just going to put it out there, but it just goes to show you guys you can't be. I've heard Ibmore being accused of this, but I have to put this out there, guys, because I see this, and I'm sort of like on the fence on this. And you guys accuse Ibmore of having black bias, i.e., some black guy makes a video, and all of a sudden, all the other black guys have to rally around. Now, Computing Forever is a perfect example.
He's a perfect example.
Just because he's a white guy and he's an atheist, he gets that bump. Now, he's just gone and show you just how little of wisdom this guy has got. I mean, that Angelo guy as well. I mean, he didn't get his 4,000 until he got on all that bump, and then when he went crazy and went full Ku Klux Klan on us, we all realized he wasn't all there. But you know, we have to stop this group bias. You guys proud yourself on being individualistic, but it's like as soon as a guy that falls into your category, you automatically jump on board with him. I say expand your mind. I say expand your horizon. I say let's listen to everybody and let's put all the arguments on the table before we make a decision. And that's why we're listening to people like Armored Skeptic and people like Computing Forever, because they fall within our category. They fall within the white atheist group.
Yeah, and it's not really. They don't really fall as Mgtows, do they?
They've got nothing to do with us. I'm telling you guys, but you guys, I don't know what's going on, man. You guys aren't listening. They've got, just because they're of the same skin color of us, or from the same religion as us, it doesn't mean that we follow the same religion. It doesn't mean we're from the same nation. Not at all. No. And I think a lot of people are making that mistake, so they all jump on board with these people. And I'm telling you, Sargon and Thunderfoot are one of them. I mean, they're slowly selling Mgtow down the road as well. I mean, these guys who are seemingly anti-feminism, it's like all of a sudden they're coming out with quite feminist beliefs.
Yeah, yeah. I was just looking for that piece of clip, but I can't find it, and it's yeah, yeah, yeah. So it's disturbing lately, and if they want to go skepticism, and it's a philosophy, and if they want to go that philosophy route within Mgtow, I think they're going to get tore up, but. I think their followers are so stupid that they can't see they're going to get tore up because they got these great white voices, you know.
I know it's like people they I don't know. It's a real mixed group, men on YouTube, aren't we? We're real mixed group. Some guys are just here to get entertained. Some guys that just want to
Right.
find somebody that will like preach what they already believe. They're not looking particularly for any wisdom or truth. They just want to be validated by finding a channel that's going to say exactly what they believe.
Yes. That the ones that they want to hear exactly what they believe, and it's a confirmation bias, and it doesn't mean it's right, and it doesn't mean it's true. Uh, you start running the truth tables in your head, and Marcus just did a great video about running truth tables in your head, didn't he?
Which video was that? The one, the podcast he had with talking about friends, or the one
No,
at
he
Red
just did.
Night?
Yeah, he just did the one about. I think it was about the same subject, and it was about. Oh God, he kind of took off after. Oh, he took off after Sam and I let it a little bit in his recent video. Uh,
Well, well, as far as I know, the last video he did was that podcast with the philosopher.
Yeah, and it was about morality, is what it was about, and he lays down the logic of morality. But if you follow the whole video, that's how you lay down logic of you know.
Oh
they're,
no, I haven't seen this last video. Men's
oh,
complicity in hypergamy.
right, men's complicity in hypergamy. He lays down the logic of morality and why morality is something that's it's not just a subjective thing. It's he's telling you this is the law of the world, and it just runs to a truth table, and it runs out, a syllogism runs out, and it makes sense, it's logical, it's true when these things run out, and you do the truth tables on them, and it's morality and ethics aren't just subjective like these guys think they are. And
I know they come out with all this like babbling, like they just make this stuff up, and then they think because nobody said it before, it will sound brilliant. But come
yeah,
on, guys, there needs to be some factual basis to some of the. Let's face it, it's ideology. I mean, computing forever needs to really analyze the use of the word ideology.
yeah, yeah, and hypocrisy too, because he's coming off as being hypocritical, and
They're very hypocritical. I mean, everything they've accused everybody else of, they've done themselves. You know,
yeah,
of all the group bias. I mean, of all the group bias that use of the word.
well, yeah. And then this week, Six Senses. He's been around forever, and he never really identified himself as Mgtow. And he comes out and he says, "I'm no longer Mgtow." And my first thought is, you got to be a Mgtow before you leave Mgtow.
Yeah, I was kind of confused with that. I thought, when were you mixed?
Yeah, when were you Mgtow? How many times have you left Mgtow already? He's been around for at least 6-7 years, I think.
It's like if I'm a
mean,
skeptic in a couple of weeks made a video saying I'm leaving Mgtow. We're
yeah.
gonna. Well, I only found out about you because some of the.
Computer Forever just did it. I'm no longer a Mgtow. You haven't never been a Mgtow, and he's leaving Mgtow. What a moron!
I think that there's like a broad, loose term of Mgtow that men that think it's cool just want to embrace, but as soon as they find it's not cool, they think, well, I have to drop it, and we're all left thinking, well, who are you anyway?
Yeah, it's
Because
not.
I can honestly say I've never watched any of their videos.
Yeah, it's not cool in the blue pill circles to be Mgtow, so I can't be a Mgtow. Is that fucking stupid or what?
I know these guys are such hypocrites. You know, everything they criticize, their anti groups for, they've done themselves. I've got no time for these guys. The only reason why I came across them is because some of the Mgtow guys are talking about it.
Yeah, but I had more respect for Six Senses before he did that, and you can see he started talking to, and he went fanboy on Computing Forever. He went off fanboy, and
You guys, you need to get away from this racial grouping. It's like, who gives a shit what skin color these channels are? You know, you listen to their content, not their accent.
yeah,
Not
see, I go over to Ibmore and listen to their content all the time. You know, I do that daily.
They got some good stuff there. I have to admit,
good stuff.
there's some good shit on there.
I do have only one problem with Ibmore, and I wish they would tag their videos Ibmore, not Mgtow.
Yeah, they're still trying to get the Mgtow audience on board with them.
Yeah, because how would they feel if I tagged my video Ibmore?
Yeah, let's make Ibmore videos.
Yeah, let's make Ibmore videos. They'll go, hey, you're not an Ibmore, and you can't be an Ibmore. And I'll say,
TFM,
why?
can we leave that with you? Leave that with you. Could you imagine Sandman making Ibmore videos? That would be
Sandman or TFM. Like TFM's going to tag his videos Ibmore, and then they'll go nuts. But please, if any Ibmore, and I doubt if any Ibmore guys will hear this, because they're not coming over the patron me like I go over the patron them.
I don't know. They're growing more and more. I think they've got guys that are sort of in and out, and that's fair enough. I think it's always in trouble now.
Yeah. Who's I think I don't know. That was from probably the G Plus thing. Let me see who that was. Someone wants to come in. I think Armchair wanted to come in today, but
you're having trouble then.
But
okay, that guy's name is Michael Serra.
Michael Serra, yeah, that's it. Michael Serra.
He's got that. He really does have that face.
He does those.
He looks like a really young Mr. Burns.
Yeah, he's always pawning over that Kristen girl.
Kristen Dunstan, or is it Dunstan Kristen? I can't remember.
Yeah, I don't know if it's Kristen Dunst. She makes she stars with him in a lot of movies. Excellent. Yeah, and then he does
Get the Dogs.
Yeah, he does one of my favorite movies because they got surrealism in it, and it's he made it up in Canada. What was it called? Something Against the World.
Scott versus the World.
Yeah, Scott versus the World, and it's a cute movie, and you can watch it, and it doesn't really bother you that much. And then they got the blonde girl in there, and then it's well written, and they do the thing with the doorway out in the middle of the field. It's like, okay, that's cool. You know, it's surrealism, and but is that Mike? Is that kid, or is it one of the other dorks?
Michael Serra.
Michael Serra. Yeah, that is.
I think he's in Scott versus the World.
Yeah, Scott something versus the World, and he's got one of the vegan guy, and when he gives him and then he punches him, and then all the coins fly out of him, and that's kind of neat stuff, you know. But so it's based on a video game sort of thing in real world.
No, I don't know about that, but my favorite scene out of This Is the End was when Aziz Ansari is hanging on the edge, and he's hanging on the edge of the pit. And he's calling out to his friend to save him, and his friend says, "No, you're already too far gone. You're beyond saving.
You're too far gone. You're beyond saving," and he runs away. Yeah,
I'm not. I'm king on the edge. He goes, "No, you're in the pit, dude. You can't be saved."
You can't be saved. That was a great movie. It went to Amazon and Netflix real fast, but I don't think it was. It's become a rather cult classic movie.
I only found that movie because of this little animation that advertised it. I'm looking forward to this animation. It's about a bunch of food. It's about a load of food that's afraid to get eaten, and it looks like they're going to reflect on the philosophy of eating.
Okay. Yeah, is he going to do a movable feast?
It's called the Sausage Party. That's it.
A sausage party? Okay. He's not going to do Hemingway, is he?
I'm looking forward to it. It's the same people that did This Is the End. So I was so impressed by the trailer. I went to see what these other guys did, and Yeah, this was the. They did all these other ones, but I think this was the end. Was the funny one.
Okay.
If it's got quite a few religious connotations to that film. So if you're
Okay. This is
religiously
the end.
offended,
Yeah.
don't watch it.
Yeah, the one guy becomes the bad guy in it. I love that scene when he comes out of the trailer and he's got the Mad Max shit on.
Yeah, well, they talk about the Day of Judgment and good and evil and demons and stuff. So I guess it's not really for people that sort of that get offended by that type of thing.
Yeah, we talked about watching movies as Mgtow once before, and I watched a good one last night. And you got to find movies that you can't possibly take seriously, so you can't get offended as a Mgtow. And I watched Hot Tub 2.
Oh, yeah, I think I saw
Hot Tub
clips of the
Time
first one.
Machine.
The
Yeah,
Hot Tub Time Machine, and
yeah. So I watched that too, and it is you can't take a movie like that seriously, but it was rather entertaining. It was funny, and they used some funny humor in it, and it was good.
it's the same guys, isn't it? The same guys are in that one.
Yes, it's the same guys. It's that same group of guys. They do a lot of movies, and they did that Pineapple Express, and from the Pineapple Express, it kind of came this whole genre of these certain guys that make these movies.
I sort of find that black guy annoying though.
Oh, the one that does the singing. He does a lot of commercials where he's playing the piano, and
he's just so. I think he really is kind of cheesy though.
I love that part that he showed. He goes, well, you know, in your clip he goes, well, you're gonna do a fat girl, and he says, no, are you calling him fat? And he goes, oh, that's just rude.
Chevy Chase is in it.
Yeah, Chevy Chase was in. Yeah, Chevy Chase. He plays the Time Master.
Chevy Chase.
Yeah, he keeps trying to kill him because he just hates him.
Yeah. I have to watch it now, I guess. I'm gonna have to. It's actually on YouTube. You don't have to go. It's actually free on YouTube. You can go.
Is it free on? Is it? Yeah. See, that went to free real quick, didn't it?
I don't know. I only, like I said, I normally don't watch these type of movies because I normally find them quite cheesy and quite well, chew on heads using this word. I'm using it. It's quite cringy, but
cringy. That's rude.
But that Sausage Party looks really funny. So I watched This Is the End and I enjoyed that. But I don't know. Seeing as Chevy Chase is in Hot Tub Time Machine, I have to go watch that.
Oh yeah. Now Bill Murray said he was going to come around and after Ghostbusters, after they ruined Ghostbusters, he made a comment to the Sci-Fi Channel that he might be on Sharknado 5 or 4.
Why is it as like a Revengers or?
Yeah, he said he just might show up on Sharknado because Sharknado is really popular and they wanted to bring in a guest star like they did with David Hasselhoff. So they were thinking, well, if we get Bill Murray, that'll be the greatest Sharknado ever.
I've not seen a single Sharknado. I don't think
seen a single Sharknado. Oh.
We don't get it over in the UK. We have to,
yeah, that's right. You got to go steal it, and
we have to go pirating across the internet seas.
Yeah, you got to watch Sharknado the whole. Once you get it, you're gonna have to watch. You're gonna want to watch the whole series, the 1, 2, and 3.
I don't know. You said that about that other series when these women, about the mole women, these women get trapped underneath.
Oh yeah. I stopped watching that. I don't know why I stopped watching it. I just got to a point where the humor was funny and witty, and she was like the mole girl, and I thought that was funny. And then
she makes a new life in New York.
Yeah, makes a new life as the mole girl in New York, and I thought it was funny and witty, and I couldn't possibly take it seriously. So she did do some feminist, anti-feminist humor during it. And I rather enjoy anti-feminist humor when I hear it because it's so bizarre and funny. But no one gets it unless you've been around the MRA or Mgtow or anti-feminist humor goes right over someone's head.
That's right. Yeah, a lot of people, they won't understand it. A lot of people are like Morpheus said, are so trapped in the Matrix. They will fight to defend it.
Yeah, they will fight to defend it. And there was a new one too that's made in Seattle I was kind of enjoying. Portlandia.
What is that, a TV series?
Yeah, it's a new TV series called Portlandia. It's got the goofy, the goofy guy that dresses up as a girl.
That's nearly everybody in Hollywood. No, which one?
No, his character, he plays a role character, and he's got a goofy. He's a little bit older. He dresses up. He always shows up as the. I think he dresses up like the feminist guy that dresses like a girl. So he's making fun of him right off the bat, and he does the long hair and he wears a wig. And
I don't know. I've stopped watching Walking Dead. That's on like
the
basic series.
The
first series was amazing because the special effects and the story was quite good, but I don't know. It just seems to be so like melodramatic. It's like so fake. It's like you've got like middle-aged woman and she's like really broody and murderous and cold and then
that's when I stopped watching it. It was
like that Asian couple, that Asian man, and he's got that romance with the middle American woman, and they've got a baby, and that's like the mixed couple type of a thing. And
they didn't bring those social things in. And then when they got to the railroad tracks and they had to follow the railroad tracks down to and then that's when it got and then it got social at that point, and I was like, I can't watch this anymore.
And then you've got that shit, the cop guy who never dies. It's like he survives everything. Everybody dies except for him. The best character was that guy with the crossbow. Sorry, I don't know their names. But
oh yeah, the guy with the crossbow was great.
Yeah, he was the best introduction. They were going to make a game just for him. They're going to make Silent Hill. They're going to make the latest Silent Hill game.
Silent Hill. I like that Silent Hill. Yeah, that was. I just watched the last Silent Hill, but in The Walking Dead, the one girl with the bow and arrow. Now she has the exact same gun, and she did the exact same thing I did to mine.
The bow and arrow. You mean the man, or
yeah? The black girl with the bow and arrow.
Oh, you mean the black girl with the samurai sword?
Yeah, the samurai sword. Now the gun she has, it really bothered me. She has a Mark V, and she put a holographic on it, so it looks cool. That's what I did with mine. So I have a holographic, so I can get like 100-yard shot with it. And
you mean the sight?
Yeah, the sight. And I looked at her and I went, oh, she's got my gun, and she did. But I realized you have to bond on with you have to bond on a holographic, and then you constantly gotta, because it falls off because you bonded it on, and it gets knocked off in the woods and shit. If you're running through the woods and you bond on a holographic sight to a Mach 5 range pistol, it will get knocked off. And so I was like, oh well, shit, she just copied me, and she can't be using my gun.
Yeah, I just found the story to be, there's just too many fillers. It's like there's like 12 episodes per season or something. And something like 7 of them are useless. You just like avoid 7 of them. Watch intermediately and get a friend to chop it up for you, and you could pretty much get the entire season in like 2 hours.
All right, yeah, because most of it doesn't really have to make sense. It's the rubber thing. It's like the lunacy of things don't have to make sense. And then once you realize that the things just don't make sense, you're like, nah.
It's the writing. I think it's just so robotic. Everybody's just so robotic and predictable. It's like somebody wrote it. You can't write a TV series where it appears somebody's just wrote your character. You've got to write it naturally. You've got to
kind of let it go a little bit. Yeah, and let it. That's the thing about the zombie movies. They're so chaotic. You never know what's going to happen.
Yeah, it's got to be prompted. It's got to be what's the word now? Spontaneous.
Spontaneous.
Life is spontaneous. Things happen out of the blue, and Walking Dead just doesn't have that anymore. It's like you sort of, and in fact, show me half the season. I bet I could write the other half. I bet I could do their script and the story and everything.
Yeah, I like the part when they get to the oil refinery, and then like the zombies were down in the oil, and it was like, is that the same movie? There's so many zombie movies, but but that was like they were ad-libbed the situation, and they were spontaneous. It's like why would why would the zombies be down in oil? Well, they fell in because they're zombies. They're stupid, you know. And that was kind of good. But that's about when I last watched it.
Some of the science is ridiculous as well. I think I mean, no matter how a dead body becomes reanimated, it's gonna rot to a point where the muscle tissue,
it's gonna fall off. Yeah, what, his bones gonna walk around? No. Yeah, some of these things they got a lot of TV shows on now, don't they?
I think that's why Game of Thrones works, because it's so unpredictable. I mean, just when you think the hero's going to win out and it's going to be a happy ending, he gets his head cut off, and then just when you think the bad guy's going to get their just desserts, he wins, and then just when you think, oh no, evil's going to win, and then the king gets killed. It's one of the things about Game of Thrones I think people like. It's just you don't know what's going to happen next, and also all the titties that get shown as well.
Oh, you like to see the titties there?
Oh, not me. Not for me, of course. I'm too celibate for that.
Yeah, you're too celibate for that. Well, monks don't look at titties.
I don't look at titties.
Yeah. Now that's what I like about I like about some of the Netflix original programs, because they're not going to end up like you think they're going to end up. If anybody's watched Hemlock, did you watch Hemlock Grove?
No, I've never seen that.
Oh yeah, the first year of Hemlock Grove, and it's like everybody you like dies and gets killed off, and I was like, oh well, that was so cool.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's how Quentin Tarantino got his career going, because he builds up the characters and then he just kills them all off.
Yeah, you're killing off your hero, and that's like always shocking to the audience.
And people love it. People love sensationalism. We live in a sensationalist society.
Yes, we do. Just watch the news.
just watch the YouTube. Anybody that makes shit up and can convince you that he's going to make other shit up in future videos. They get 100,000 subscribers.
Oh yeah, like we were talking about.
Did you see Paul Wilson got his video taken down?
He got his video taken down.
Yeah, I'm a skeptic. The pro freedom of speech bitch took Paul Wilson's video. Now, I know what he's going to say. He's going to say it wasn't him. It was one of his subscribers. But it wasn't, because Paul Wilson's video got taken down for bullying. Now, only the person that gets bullied, or the target of the bullying, only he or she can take the video down. So it had to be only I'm a skeptic that took that video down. What a pussy!
Hypocrisy in the making.
Such hypocrisy from that.
So he doesn't want free speech. He wants skepticism, and
he wants his free speech. Everybody else's free speech can get lost.
Yeah, it can get lost, and that's what they're saying, isn't it? They want Mgtow to convert to their lighter, moderate, more woman friendly sort of MRA, because that's their free speech, and we're not allowed to have ours. And but they'll go to town if someone and I think I do remember a video where YouTube did something to him, and he was railing about censorship.
Yeah, he was saying, where's the what's that? They're all talking about the fair use.
Yeah, fair use and everything. And he goes and has Paul's, because Paul did a fairly good job responding to him. I don't know.
I'm a skeptic. You're a hypocrite.
You're
a hypocrite that chases the 11-year-old girls and boy YouTube audience, and that's about as I'm going to use your girlfriend's language. Yes, yeah, you are so cringy. You're just a cringy little man.
A little cringy little guy.
You're a cringy hypocrite.
Yeah, so they're not really dating. So everybody says they're dating, but I find it like nowadays you can do these what people call dating. And I heard some guy say this the other day. He was having a relationship with a girl. I was talking to him, and he says, I'm having a relationship with a girl online. And he was like talking about it like it was his girlfriend. And then I realized she's in a different country.
He's never met her.
He's never met her first physically in person, but he calls them his girlfriend. He was getting upset about some things that she was doing.
these people, they've taken it too far. It's like the virtual world is now more real than the actual
Yeah,
world.
yeah. So like, I can't imagine, when they're having sex, over, is that's what do you call that kind? It's like
Cyber
internet
sex.
cyber sex. Yeah, is cyber sex considered real sex now?
I don't think so.
I wouldn't consider it. It's just, man, porn's real sex now too, huh?
These guys, they've lived in a virtual world, haven't they? And
Yeah, they're living in a virtual. So all those girls really did like me.
yeah, they did. They made that porn especially for you.
Oh, I know they did. I know they did. Yeah, that girl. That's funny. It's. But is he having a cyber sex thing with her? Do they both live close to each other? I don't know.
I don't know, but if it was only a virtual relation, that would be even more hilarious if they
That
only had
would
a.
be hilarious, yeah, because he's my boyfriend, but they never met each other. It's like
I
what's that
remember
really awful feminist movie with something in Seattle?
Sleepless in Seattle.
Sleepless in Seattle, when they're talking on the internet, and they fell in love on the internet, and it's like,
that reminds you of that other film. You Have Mail. Them
yes,
two.
You Have Mail. It
The
was
online
it was
romance.
You Have Mail. It wasn't Sleepless in Seattle. It was You Have Mail, which was the same two actors. And
it was Tom Hanks and whatever her name was.
yeah, that was when email first started up too, and you got the little the AOL email thing. That I can't remember what that sounded like.
It was more of a Microsoft Outlook thing.
Yeah, you got mail, and
that was so cheesy.
Yeah,
so cheesy.
Now, what are you guys in the audience? All six of you right now.
All six fellas.
Do you think that like you can have an online romance? Is it possible? Is that even possible, or is this just like real deep down creepy TLF stuff there?
No, I know Mgtow Oracles had a online romance and pixelized workflows. They're talking about the Swedish fetish for dressing up in tassels.
Okay. I started seeing a guy here in Sweden. Oh, I didn't know pixelized. Is he a guy or is it?
You see, you just can't tell online. It could be anyone.
Yeah, because if he's seeing another guy, then there's only two other possibilities there, and I don't want to insult him. But I didn't. Okay, his tassels on top of their hair like girls have. Looks like feminine, and I don't understand these. They're not homosexuals. Okay, I understand now. Tassels on top of their hair like little girls.
Oh, he's got some. It looks like he's got some Photoshop advice videos.
Okay. Is it Photoshop advice? I need I'm always asking you to do stuff for me that I could probably do.
It's quite complicated. Adobe has made things so complicated. It's like so convoluted. It's like Illustrator, Photoshop. They've got another type of Photoshop as well. Then they've got After Effects. They've got Audition, and then after Effects, they've got like Premiere Pro, and it's just crazy.
Yeah, now I've learned how to do it inside my Magix editor, where I take two timelines and I'll put two photos, and then I'll lighten down one and make one transparent until it kind of, and then you make the other one transparent so they kind of blend.
That's all you need.
So if you get a white box or a black box, you can take the white black box, the white box out, or I have two choices. I can take the white box out, or I can take the black box out. And then that's all the choices I have on there. So if I do that, then I overlay it, and I can put anything in that I want to do.
I don't think Adobe Illustrator is a very good package. I know people use it. I know some industries use it, but there's so many better graphic design applications. Some that's going to cut your work. Because a lot of the work you do when you're doing graphic design is going through all the menus, and I mean, if you know all the shortcuts and all, even typing in the equations as well. There's like
I wanted to ask my subscribers to make me a new Group X,
What do you mean?
Like
Oh,
the group.
a new avatar.
Yeah, that one right there. I wanted to see if one of them will do it because I want to get that. I want to make it flashy in the back where it flashes,
Oh, a
and
GIF.
a GIF. I want a GIF where it can flash you, and it kind of either goes colorful in the back, not rainbow colors. I'm not
Well,
gay.
let's put it out there. You know,
Yeah.
Traversable would like to appeal for all you avid graphic designers who
Yeah, if
designing
someone can make me
an,
a GIF.
a new animated logo. I don't know if you guys can see mine is actually animated. So
Yeah, you got a great logo. See, I can't compete.
something similar to mine, guys, where he's got like maybe an animated background there on his Group X. He likes a Group X.
Yeah,
So let's send that challenge out there.
that's Ellen challenge to
Well,
make
what about
create a GIF.
Pixelize? Pixelize, he's made a few videos about graphic design, so maybe you could send one in, huh?
Yeah, if you could just tell me how to make. I can never get my GIF under the megabytes that's needed.
I know that's half the that's half the problem. If you ever worked with Adobe as well, they always save on huge files. I remember I did after rendering, I did like a 12-second intro. It was 3 GB for 12 seconds.
Yeah, it's like it goes so fast. Now you said you can compress or do something like that, but every time I compress, I lose files.
Yeah, you can like adjust the bit rate, you can adjust the frame rate, you can adjust the worst thing to adjust though is the resolution, and that
Yeah,
all decreases it.
yeah, because your resolution's great on that GIF.
You need resolution. Resolution is very important, but you don't want to lose any of those stuff. I'm sure there's a way of doing it without losing too much quality. But I mean, bit rate. I mean, bit rate is good to have. Frame rate is good to have as well. But it's you can't be having like 3 GB files for a 12-second intro.
Yeah. Now, what is the GIF on a picture? That's like a point four or 4 megabytes you can use in there, or 0.39 megabytes or something like that. I can't remember what it is.
What for GIF? What do
For
you mean?
GIF, yeah,
Google.
yeah.
Oh well, my GIF is only like 200K. It's very small.
It's very small because it looks
Yeah.
like it would take a lot of space in that.
It's not. Doesn't take a lot of space. Like I said, these I don't know what's going on with it with these guys. They're very RAM hungry, very processor hungry as well. They're not very efficient programmers these days. They just not thinking about the end game.
Now, Nukeproof says try ShareX. It's free for easy for gifts, and I didn't know that. That can help me.
Well, thanks very much there, Nuptial. I'll
Yeah.
take a look at that. That's very kind of you to share that with us.
Yeah, maybe I can because I want to keep my axe that I have and keep my my logo so people recognize it, but I want to make it do something and make it a little more colorful and more up to date. You know, I don't know.
It's a lot of fun graphic design, a lot of fun. I mean, it's not just about learning to put like your shapes and your colors together, but also the lighting as well, and so loads of things you can do. The lighting, messing about with the fonts, and
Yeah, it's always good to make your own too. Like I made my own, and then you made your own. Because if someone steals your and tries to if they try to make a fake account and use your GIF or your logo, then it becomes copyright. It's your design. They violated your copyright, and if you wanted to go through with the process, it's $65 filing fee to file a copyright suit, and then it becomes dangerous for people to do that if you make your own and then you send it to yourself or you trademark it.
Yeah.
So that's it's a thought.
So what else has been on your plate this week, Joe?
It was just a lot of that garbage that we it's mind warping, that garbage that comes from the skeptic crowd. And an amazing atheist jumped in that. He started pooning
What's
Sandman
that guy
a little.
doing?
He's usually very Mgtow like, and then he started pooning Sandman for saying you know how the way Sandman talks, and it's always the woman.
And
And cheers.
cheers.
But you know, if you're outside the community and you're one of these out groups, you if you're inside the community, it's always fun to poke at each other. But if you're outside the community, then it's just, oh, wait a
That's
second,
not
no,
permissible. I mean,
that's
you've got to do time in Mgtow before you can be considered
yeah,
as one of the poonable guys. And
it's one of the poonables.
I'm sorry, Mr. Blonde Werewolf, you're just not you're not in that
Oh,
niche.
yeah, he looks like
He,
Chewbacca or
he looks like he looks like he looked like Teen Wolf's uncle whatever his name is. I did a nice little picture of him, and yes, you're right. He also looks like a gremlin,
a
like a
gremlin. Yeah,
fluffy
he
gremlin.
looks like that one gremlin with the little beard and everything he's
The
got. It goes,
crazy one.
yeah, the
The
crazy one with the
one that
crazy
was made
eyes.
from polluted water.
Yeah, crazy eyes. Did they call him crazy eyes?
I got no idea, but
Crazy, yeah.
he was funny and cute, that one.
Yeah, he was funny, and he screwed up everything, and he was just like screwing everything up. It's like having a woman around that screws everything up.
Yeah. So we had Chewbacca, Teen Wolf's uncle, and we had Crazy Gremlin.
Crazy gremlin. Oh yeah, he's from my state too. He's from Columbus, and so you know, if he wants to drive up a few miles and try to beat me up, he can. I'll send him my address, and he can. It won't be that much of a drive. I'm sure when you meet me, it'll be a shock.
He'll be out of breath by the time he gets there.
Yeah, I'm sure. He's like what, 5'9", maybe, or maybe all that fat, kind of compresses him. But
all those cheeseburgers,
he's been eating, he needs Mgtow, doesn't he? I could get him working out. If I get him working out, I can get him some, some buff arms and make that brachium look nice. And
I tell you what, his little 11-year-old teenage bump isn't gonna last, long. I mean, the public is a very fickle thing. Popular culture. I mean, fads come and go, and he's going to go out of fashion pretty soon, just like other YouTube channels. And then he's going to find himself on the TFL pile.
Oh yeah, wait till he gets my age, and people are like, "Hey, that dude's old." They don't want to. They'll be watching. They'll be watching the new atheist PewDiePie.
Yeah.
PewDiePie hasn't really gone into the atheist sector yet. Now wait till someone invades their sector, and they'll be all like, "Oh, he's invading our space," and then that's how it feels,
Yeah.
One of the big guys, or Jenna Marbles, goes atheist, and then comes over and starts sucking up all their viewers.
Yeah, I don't know. It's a fickle market, and I think I don't know how. Well, I don't know how Google decides who to promote and who not to. But there's all these little cogs spinning, and Google does have some say in it as well.
Well, they got a lot of say in it. I'm totally censored. I can't, no matter what I do, I'm totally censored, and they will not on Google let me.
But I actually don't mind that. Actually, because it keeps away all those idiots that are just hunting around for the next PewDiePie and trying to find something entertaining to fit in with their worldview. Anything else offends them. I actually like that Mgtow have actually found each other. I think it's a very, very select group. We were never going to be mainstream. I mean, all this shit Stardust talks about mainstreamification and all that.
No, they're never going to accept us because we terrify them.
Well, that's the entire point. It's like we're outside the Matrix. The Matrix is popular culture. The Matrix is...
Yes, the Matrix is popular culture. They're just batteries for the Matrix.
The Matrix is mainstream, and we're trying to get away from that because it screwed us all over in a very royal fashion. So Mgtow was never going to go mainstream. So all you idiots that think you're now going to address the issue of how do we balance out with what people want and what and the screwing over of men, how we're going to balance it out, we need to have a middle way. He's never going to be a middleweight. They're never going to
No.
be happy with you.
No, and we just seen a good example of with Computing Forever and Skeptic and who else is the big guy? They're more mainstream. They're accepted in you see what they do to our message. You see they make
Yeah,
it into an MRA watered down message, and that's why we left the MRA.
No, what they do is they bring on that atheism plus rhetoric. You know, oh, we love individualism, we love freedom of speech, we love, but I see you guys as a cult, we see you guys as idealistic, we see you guys as group dynamics and group bias and confirmation, but and they're guilty of all of this themselves.
Yeah, oh yeah, that was another thing that drove me nuts about the Computing Forever guy. He goes, "Well, I'm a man going my own way." Yeah, you're a Mgtow, and that's not a Mgtow. And then stupid, look at the fucking words. It's men plural going their plural own way. It's plural. It's all of us. It's a group. And then he comes back and says, "You guys are a cult because you're a group." What a fucking stupid ass. That guy is so stupid.
I honestly don't know why anybody watches that guy. I remember I saw like half of his first couple of videos. It was getting passed around Mgtow. And then when it kept on getting, because once you watch one of their videos, it's like Google keeps suggesting you another one. And I just had to use video blocker to stop his from popping up. But I honestly don't know why you watch these guys. It's like, is it because he falls into your group dynamic? I mean, why? It's like,
why? Yeah, well,
he's talking exactly the same way everybody. You can't be going your own way if you're doing the same thing everybody else is doing. The entire point of going your own way is because nobody else is doing it. If I'm doing exactly the same thing as everybody else in my city, everybody else in my country is doing, in what way am I going my own way?
Yeah, and it's always been men going their own way. All of us, we're all going our own way, but we're all going in a group in a certain direction because we're going away from the other group. So it's not a singular thing. If you're going if you're a man going your own way, you're going away from Mgtow. Like you were saying, it becomes an individualistic thing. Now, like I always said, individuality is your collective unconscious. And this is straight from Kant, if you want to go read it. You don't think I'm telling the truth. Kant says individuality is from your collective unconscious, but being individualistic is being a Burgess individualism, and that's taking it too far. That's what these guys are doing. They're Burgess individuals that are being very individualistic in their life. And that right there is why we get called selfish and why we get called, well, you're being just your individual, and that's from what you are in life, and that's fine. You can do that in life and still be a part of the Mgtow group.
Okay. This is how I see it. Now, you get the type of Mgtow content producer that has really got something to say. He's been through something. He's been to hell and back.
Yeah. Okay.
He's been to hell and back, and he's got something to tell. And then you've got the other one who's really, really contemplated on life. He spent a long time, nights, days, years, contemplating, reading, studying, listening to other men, and he's got something to say. And then you've just got those guys like Skeptic and Computing Forever and Amazing Atheist that he's watched a few YouTube videos and he's seen them boom. He's like watched Thunderfoot, he's like watched PewDiePie, and he says, you know what, I can get in on a piece of this. And they've like studied up on how to make a YouTube video, and then they go and buy themselves a GoPro and they go and make these YouTube videos, and they don't really have anything to say that other people haven't said already. They've just put together what they think people wanna hear.
Yeah, there's that they mimic each other. And it's that same quality of they try to mimic the quality of the tone of the voice. They try to and I call this the CPG Grey thing. You ever listen to CPG Grey?
Yeah, you told me about him.
Okay, go listen to one of his videos. Take a look at the quality of his voice and what he says and how he says it. Then look around the internet and you have 1,000 guys mimicking him now. And they sit down there and they just mimic his style. They mimic what he does, and then that's what they do, and it's got to drive CPG Gray nuts. But that comes down from the Skeptor, from the Tildeer, the Skeptor, it's that style. Thorium. They're all mimicking that style, and that's all they are doing. Now, when we look at this in a Mgtow sense of view, what do women do? They mimic each other. They mimic what we do. That's the only thing they can do. They're telling, what are these guys, half fucking women?
They're part of the matrix. They're part of the problem. These are the
Matrix.
guys that would fight us when we're actually gaining ground.
Right. Yeah. If we're getting, and that's what they've done. We started gaining ground again over last year. We had a very good year last year, and we're going to have a good year this year, regardless of what they want. But
yeah, we had a really good year last year.
Yeah, you can see it. There's thousands of guys joining. I see new.
It's not just the numbers. It's just the quality of videos we had last year. The quality of guys that came on. Just the quality of discussions we had as well. And then this year, a few other guys have joined. We got some pretty good newcomers, and yeah, we need to. We can't drop the ball now, guys. It's up to.
Yeah, you know what they want us to do, and I just kind of think this. They want to use what's so common in the blue pill world. They want to use the silver bullet, and they want to make Mgtow, the label, be like offensive, and then use that as a silver bullet. Every time a Mgtow pops up, they're going to go, "Oh well, you're a Mgtow," and then.
Well, Pixel Eyes has put it very well. He says that women's nature is to be dependent, and when a woman gets pregnant, she doesn't care what group she belongs to, as long as she's taken care of, fed, and housed. And regardless, the group could be highly immoral, and I think that's exactly what's going on. You know, when Mgtow's popular, when everybody's saying, "Oh, have you checked out these Mgtow guys?" You know, Armored Skeptic and Amazing Atheist, and all the anti-fems from the Atheism Plus group will give us a thumbs up and say, you know, we all men need to go their own way. And then when we're getting a bad rap, when the BBC says, "Oh, have you seen these extremists, these rape apologists?" All of a sudden they're saying, "Oh no, look how extremist they are." You know, you guys are all a cult. Yeah, too ideological.
Oh yeah, look how extremists we are. You know, I don't in our group here, Shining, and I don't think you mind me say, there are some of the finest moral men that I've ever run across in my life. To say that we're immoral, we're not part of your rape culture. We don't do that. We're not part of your sex culture. We're not part of your porn culture. We're not part of that deviant culture. We don't do those things. And we clarify ourselves as monks for a reason. We don't do them things. To try to take the high road against us, that's ridiculous.
Yeah, these these kids.
These children, and these children in the media, these blue pill children that are running our media now. They're children, aren't they?
Like I said, I don't watch these guys. The only reason why these names came up was because they get bandied about Mgtow. Whatever you guys are talking about, that's the only time I pick these guys up.
I was talking to the government, as you know, Pixel says, the government is the market. We talked about this, the people in your Congress or whatever you call it, and the people in Congress, and they are some of the lowest forms of immoral son of a bitches in the world.
I was telling you about the current issue with our current government. Yeah. It's like they're getting, they were supposed to be investigated for a child porn ring. A child
porn ring, and you got your the guy that's in charge over there. He was accused of having sex with a dead pig.
Yeah, he put his cock in a pig's head. A severed pig's head.
A severed pig's head, and that's the guy.
Yeah, that's worse than that.
Oh, these are much worse than that, because you know they probably are. You know they in our government, you from Bill Clinton to all these guys, they get caught, maybe they don't, and most of these guys with these hypocrites that run around, and it's like what was that preacher's name that got caught walking with the homosexual? He was the homosexual guy. That's bad. And come to Jesus camp, and then you see him in they got a picture of him or a film of him in the airport walking to the plane with his homosexual boyfriend.
I know it's sad. It's like the worst among us our leaders are the most immoral and the worst capable to lead, and probably have our interests least in
Right.
their
Yeah. Who says that?
priorities.
The sociopaths in our society rise to the top because they don't have no morals. They don't.
I mean, if that's what is required to make the kind of decisions that totally decimate a people, whether foreign or what's the word, foreign or home,
Oh
then
God, that
that's why.
Trump scares the hell out of me too because I think they're just waiting for him to become really big, and then they're going to pull out the pictures of him dressed up in maids girl clothes, and then like running around, and like whip me, it's like because I get whenever I look at him, and you can look at somebody and kind of tell. It was like the Jared from the sandwich shop thing,
I don't know that.
the pedophile from Subway Sandwich. He was
I didn't hear about that.
Oh God, you didn't hear about that? How can you not hear about Jared? Jared was the sandwich guy, and he was selling and then he turned out to be a pedophile. But you look at that guy. Me and my buddy were talking about this, and we both kind of looked at each other and said, "Yeah, we kind of knew that, that he was a pedophile before." You can just look at the guy and tell. That's the creepy vibe I get from Trump.
Uh, I think you guys should know by now that whoever gets voted in, you're not really going to have a different government. You're going to have this. You're going to have a different president, but you're going to have the same government.
You
Whether
can
it's
have the
them,
same government, no, regardless, because you can't change the paperwork. The changes. You know what it takes to go through Congress and change one line on a constitutional amendment. It takes monumental effort, a lot of money, and a few years to do. Just to change. They can't even change single words in there because it's taken 200 years almost to corrupt it as much as they have, which is not a whole lot because it's just not possible to corrupt it like that.
well, it's a crying. I mean, to sum it all up, it's a crying shame that the worst among us are our leaders, and that's why. I mean, after decades, for some people, centuries of trying to change the system, trying to make things correct again, it's only gotten worse. So that's why Mgtow came along. We're all going to go away. We're all going to leave you fuckers alone. We're going to restrict our interaction with all of you dumb fuckers in the government and all you leeching women that have nothing except for your own your own well-being at heart. We're going to have nothing to do with you guys. And
Yeah, I wanted to invite Top Dollar in. I wonder if he'd show up.
I know he's too shy.
He's too shy. He's on my. Is that him? Can you see that? You can't see that, can you?
Yeah, there's somebody called Unknown. I don't know what's going on with that. Someone called Unknown in this podcast.
Unknown in the podcast.
Yeah, I don't know exactly why that's come up, but if you look at your Google Plus Hangout box, you'll see there's 3 people in here: me, you, and somebody called Unknown.
Oh, is there an unknown in here? Let me click on my thing.
Yeah,
Nobody's sitting in here.
Yeah, we can't see anybody. But if you go to the G Plus,
oh, let me open my G Plus page. Oops, got to reopen it. I usually try to keep that open so I can talk to you in the background, so we can make fun of the tards and as we're talking. Unknown, yeah, it is unknown. Who is unknown in here?
I don't know. Spooky. We're joined by a third unseen entity.
I didn't invite no one named Unknown. I invited the only 3 people I invited at first was you, messengers, the regular crew, Burn, and so this unknown is like really unknown. That's creepy, huh? Somebody's out there like kind of
someone's managed to create a phantom account and sneak onto a podcast.
Yeah, but that's what they've been trying to do to us. They've been trying to get in our group, huh? And just
it's not hard. It's not hard to get into our group at all.
We heard that from the moron kid this week, didn't we? Alex said, "Oh, I've got 3 spies watching you, messenger."
And he's going to watch your videos.
We go watch your videos, and we're spying on you,
Right.
messenger.
Going to watch my videos.
That just tells me that there's some idiot running around trying to get in, and unknown might be that. I'm not sure. It's like
no, he won't be.
You never know about these guys because
just well,
it's just a glitch.
And anyone can just log onto your channel and just watch the podcast. They don't need to.
Yeah.
Go to the hangout.
Well, you can't get in that group on that G Plus unless I invite you. And yeah. So I don't know. I've been searching for new guys to bring in this week, and we're still kind of going through that period of time where we got to audit and edit them, right?
Well, not everybody can be a content maker. You know, not everybody has got the will or the spirit like to put a monologue together and sort of formalize it into a video, get the visuals up and make it all work together and post it and offer the people something which, you know, they think that they haven't had.
Yeah, they're going on about my crockpot video. My crockpot.
Yeah, I was watching that. It sort of made me hungry. That
community. You know what I did a few months ago. You remember when I told you what I did?
Yeah.
I was trying to show these guys how easy it is to infiltrate a group. And then so I went over to the crockpot cooking group, and there was this lady, I can't remember. I didn't use her real name on this so she wouldn't be offended. But so I got into the group and I started saying really nice things like, "Oh, that looks delicious. I would like to just eat that up." And sending all these people like really nice messages. And then somebody came around. Somebody put up. I was just waiting. A troll came around and put up and this is when Warhorse got really mad at me because somebody put up a dead cat thing in there and nobody knew what I was kind of doing. And I was like, "Damn you guys." I was like, "Darn you. I hate this. Them pressure cooker people are coming after us." And then they all like, and I says, "You should make me moderator." No, just give me those controls and I'll moderate the hell out of this group. And then it shows you how easily you can take over a group. And then I associate that with what these out groups are doing, like the Computing Forever, Skeptor, the Amazing Atheists. They're just out groups trying to take over the group. And it's really easy to do when you think about it. And if a smaller group or a group that's like, you know, very lighthearted and stuff, you can go in there anytime. If you have evil intents, you know, there's a lot of things you can do on G Plus. I mean, just you know, if you're just have evil intents, and that's the point I was trying to make with the crockpot. You can do this if you want.
Oh, try it. You mean how easy it is to hijack a group? How easy it is to co-opt?
Yeah, if I would have went a month in there, can you imagine it would have been called Crockpot Mgtow?
That could have been fun.
It would have been, yeah, and then it would have been like, okay, now I got this group. What do I do next? I take the next step. I start moderating everybody out and bringing my people in. But that's what they're doing to us now. They're trying to moderate out Mayor of Mgtow, Sexy Mgtow. They'll start that way. They'll start small, and then they're going to moderate me out. They're going to moderate you out. They're going to moderate, No Holds Bar out. And then they're going to, pretty soon, all we're going to see inside, and Mgtow will have Skeptor, his girlfriend, a couple of her buddies, and then it'll have Computing Forever and a few of their friends, and that will be Mgtow.
Well, let me. I don't think that's going to happen.
No, it's not going to happen. Yeah,
because first of all, the guys that are hardcore onto Mgtow, these guys are here because of everyday occurrences. You know, things.
Everyday occurrences. Yeah, it's the way we think. It's what we are.
Things hit these guys, hit us. Every day that show us exactly why we can't take part in the gynopocalypse, which I made up. So the word I made
gynopocalypse. I love that. So you've made two of them up this week. You had a gynopocalypse, and then what else you were using?
I'm sure it'll come when we discuss the other one.
Yeah, you're using another one. I was like trademark shining.
Yeah, but you know, a lot of the guys in Mgtow, it's not just a fad for them. It's not just something that it's nice. It's nice to talk about because it's intellectually stimulating. No, you know, some guys that they really uh, can see the danger that we're in. You know, it's not a joking matter. It's not something that they're going to make like a few bucks of from YouTube. By setting up a channel. No, it's something that could very well take away, you know, their sanity or take away their, uh, you know, their career or their life direction or
Yeah,
you know and for some people obviously they've been through it. You know, they have had their life taken away from them. Or, you know. They have been down that dark road of suicide. You know, I think as men, we all secretly, deep down, you know, even the worst blue pill, secretly deep down, they know that something is very wrong. But the blue pillars, they sort of just live with it and they sort of just move along because they think that's what they're supposed to do. But some of us,
right.
we just can't do that anymore. We can't just pretend that everything's going to be all right, and if we just let things happen, uh, um, we can live our lives. You know, I think that's where Mgtow is. I mean, that's what the hardcore Mgtow are at. You know, they can't just pretend everything's fine. So when someone like Amazing Atheist and you know what's the other guy, Skeptic and Sargon, they come along and they say, oh, you know, Mgtow doesn't shouldn't have to be extreme. Yeah, you're talking to the wrong people because
You're talking to the wrong people.
we're not theorizing here. We're not talking about something we've read in a book. You know, we've been through it. We know that just from a phone call, you can get put in prison for something that you can prove you haven't done.
Yeah. You know what else they accuse us? They say in Six Senses and Computing Forever, they says, well, you know, guys, it's not about pruning feminists. It's about this new thing we made up over in the skeptic community called gynocentrism.
Mm.
It was like, are you an idiot? Barbarossa made that up a few years ago, and he should get you know, credit for because it wasn't a word before that. Uh,
I
and
know, uh,
but that's what they do. They come around, they start mimicking it, and they say, "I invented that."
mm. You know what?
It's not.
Like I said, I, I never listened to these guys anyway. They only came up because the Mgtow, some of the Mgtow group picked them up. But I mean, I can understand it. I mean, definitely, you guys want to, you know, keep your finger on the pulse, see what people listen to, see what the current news is. But at the end, you can tell a real Mgtow because you know he's not going to just drop the Mgtow ideology, drop the label just because a big channel has given it a bad review. I mean,
Yeah.
you're going to
Oh
see the real
yeah.
Mgtow.
You're gonna see the rig meat. That's what happened earlier, and we just got sick of the light message of the MRA and the big guys, and we're just seeing it again where it's gonna be it'll reciprocate over. We'll pick up new guys, and then it's just gonna keep going and going. Uh,
Mm.
Once a MGTOW, always a MGTOW. So as soon as you get this stuff in your brain, it's not gonna go away because the truth is the truth.
I mean, I mean, the true Mgtow, they don't care for fame. They don't care for you know, worldly materialistic riches like these blue pillar guys are selling their souls for. I mean, they can take all the glory and credit for making up these new terms. The fact is, if the word gynocentrism didn't come along, we'd have other words like pussy worship or
Yeah.
pedestalizing women and you know these kind of concepts are always around, and this is the type of thing we're running away from. Just because somebody's grouped all these ideals together and put it under one term, it doesn't mean obviously it makes the discussing and talking and the language much easier, but it doesn't mean that we're going to lose this this sense of trying to get away from government and female slavery. It doesn't mean that at all. We're just going to find a different way. That's all. I mean, this. Hartburn said it best. He says Mgtow is a an idea whose time has come.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's just gonna make me sick one day when I open up the Wikipedia and I'm looking under gynocentrism, and I'm probably gonna see like somebody like Computing Forever or some woman saying that she invented this, and then I just know that it's just
And
it's
they'll
just
get on the
revisionist.
BBC,
Yeah, the
they'll get on
BBC said, yeah,
CNN, and they'll get this
it's
interview.
revisionist history to give some pundit credit for that when they had nothing to do with it.
Some fake. I know it's always been like that, hasn't it? The
Yeah. It,
what's that film? Braveheart said it best. He says that history is written by those that kill. The history is written by those that kill the heroes or something like that.
yeah, the winners. Henry's written by the strongest or the winners, and but they're not by far not the strongest. They're the ones that you know what they are. They're the ones that acquiesce just a little bit less,
Well,
a little bit more than us. They acquiesce to the blues.
they remind me of the Onion guy. That bro, can you believe there's this idiot that made a channel called bro.
Oh, bro, yeah.
That just shows you his level of creativity. His first channel is called Onison or something. Onison.
Oniasan. Oh yeah, Oniasan is bro. He went to
Yeah, and then he made another channel called bro.
Oh, bro, yeah. I just got I
What
had
a
it on
quality channel. But anyway,
he's another pootie pie.
yeah, exactly. He's another one of these idiots that think he can like walk the line between please everybody, and he's been divorced. He's paying alimony.
Oh yeah, can you imagine that guy not being a Mgtow? That guy, his ex-girlfriend or ex-wife took $500,000, which was supposed to be paid from his YouTube account that she really had nothing to do with. It's his YouTube account. And that's hypergamy, and that's the way the system works. And then this guy goes off and he doesn't want to, and he's like, oh, I'm going to jump back into that and do that again. So he started, what he did is, I know what he did. He just dropped the Onius on. She can have all of that. And then he started Oh Boy up, and all the people came over the Oh Boy.
These guys, they're firmly plugged into the matrix, supplying them.
They're thoroughly plugged in. Yeah, he's just a battery for the matrix. And then he's going to go, he's going to do exactly what they all do, like this new skeptic guy did. Go find himself an internet girlfriend, and she's going to take him for half his YouTube money. It's like over and over. How many times when we say there's houses, cars, real things online, we really mean there's houses, cars. I lost my house, I lost 2 cars, I lost my camper, I lost my boat, I lost my favorite Pepsi machine was a 1954 Pepsi machine with the front opener. I loved that. I used to put beer in there, and I lost that, and I lost all my tools, all my at that point I was a millwright, so I had $20,000 worth of tools, and stuff like that, all gone. But for these guys, they don't relate that to their trade. What they're going to lose is their channel.
You see, there's something even bigger than that as well. I mean, all that is actually quite terrible. I mean, you build up a life, something that you've probably worked for a long time, and even as a kid, it's something that you used to think about. But men think that they're gonna somehow, finish college, get a job or a career, and they're gonna settle down and have children and be a father and a family man. And it's just so sad because when they're like sort of there and they've like gone through all these compromises and they put up with this bitch for years, and then along comes their child, and they think, okay, now I can finally settle down. And then when the child is taken from them and everything else is taken from them, really, this is when it hits home. You were never in control of any of it.
You were never in control. Now, Pixel work with. I hate to argue with your Pixel. He says, I just can't blame women for their nature. We've been getting that a lot, but you got to go watch Marcus's last video. Yes, you can blame them for their nature because it's morality attached, and morality is a real thing. It's not subjective.
Well, it depends what you mean by you can't blame women for their nature. Are you saying that they shouldn't be punished for their crimes?
That's what it is. Yeah, it's like, no, it's a morality issue, and morality is not subjective.
Are you saying that when a woman kills her child, that she should just be given help because she's considered as in need of psychological treatment and not actually a criminal? I mean, if that's what you mean, then obviously that's wrong because
Yeah.
obviously this is what one of the problems.
That's one of the problems. They're allowed to lie, steal, cheat, be violent, hit men,
kill their children. They're allowed to kill their children
because of that same attitude. That's just their nature, and we can't. The poor little things. They're not poor little things, and they're not. They're vicious animals sometimes.
You see, it's shown in our social services when a woman abuses a child, whether she sexually abuses a child or she physically abuses a child or she neglects a baby, she gets taken to psychiatric help because they think that she just needs help. And once she's got the help, she can be reunited with that child. Now, this is reality. If a man gets even he doesn't need to do it. If he gets accused of doing that, he gets immediately separated from his children.
Oh God, yeah, and I've seen that with my ex. She took on a drug habit that permanently damaged some of my children, and they made me go through this program and get tested because they were trying to blame it on me. Like when we just seen this in Indiana, where the guy went to jail because his wife was on drugs.
Now the thing is, it sounds incredible, and we tell men these things. I mean, how many men need to come along? I mean, I've shown court documents, I've shown police records of this happening, of me getting accused, and then the police saying, "Oh, he didn't do it," but we have to arrest him anyway.
Yeah, he didn't do it. We know he didn't do it, but the law says they're going to put you through hoops then that makes you, because if you do the littlest thing as a male.
And then the court documents, they're continuing the procedures as if you had done it, and they never bring up the fact that you haven't done anything wrong. And the thing is, you tell the young guys this over and over again, and they just don't believe you. They say, "No, there's no way our system could be that corrupt."
Yeah,
but guys, people get locked up for crimes they didn't commit all the time. It's like a scapegoat.
Yeah, so it's different for men, and it is and we forgive women a lot, but there is no, and that was Skeptor's thing. That's why I did that video. Skeptor's, the armor skeptic said, "Why don't we forgive women for this?" But that's what we're doing wrong, because we don't forgive men for being psychopaths. We put men in jail. And he says, "Well, you just need to forgive these women." No, we don't need to forgive these women.
Yeah, well, we talked about that, didn't we?
Yeah,
I mean, you can't forgive somebody while they're doing it to you. You can't forgive someone while they're stabbing you, or while they're still preventing you from seeing the children. You can't forgive them while they're doing it. They've got to stop it first, and then you can forgive them.
Yeah, there's a. If you go
and also, what does he mean by forgive them? Is he saying that we need to now go back to the proverbial plantation? Is he saying we need to go back to that? Because that was a problem in the safe place. It's like telling.
He says it's unproductive just to tell them that it's immoral and it's big and scary. Government scares women. Women and men can't be on the same team. Also,
well, I was going to talk about that, but the thing is, it's all what is his intention, or what is Skeptic's intention by saying that?
Yeah, what was his intention by saying that? And it's going back to the Matrix, like you said. They want us to go back and plug back in so they can extract utility.
It's highly unsensitive. It's highly ignorant.
Right. It's highly insensitive
because these men were they've been falsely imprisoned, that they've been very psychologically, materialistically, spiritually damaged. These are men that have gone through earthly hell and back. He doesn't. It's as if he's ignored everything that's happened to men, and all he cares about is his little girlfriend and his YouTube channel. You know that's not how life is. You know, these men, they've. It's like Messenger says. It's like uh, giving alcohol to an alcoholic, to a recovering alcoholic, and saying, "Hey, listen, you need to move on. You need to forgive. You need to forgive alcohol and just start
Yeah, go
drinking." And
go
you
and
start
drink some
drinking
more.
again.
Yeah, yeah. The government would, if the government would say that, that would be like totally lunacy, like because they're making taxes off that.
Mhm.
But that's what they're
Okay.
telling us to do.
Now the issue of women and men can be a great team. Now, women and men can be a great team when men are treated as men and women are treated as women. These days, they want men to be like women and women to be
To
like
be
men.
like men, and that's what got me in trouble. I thought I had a great teammate. I thought that.
Mm.
That's
It's
the
not.
big lie.
It's not just about government. You see, if the women stuck to the role or to the culture that they always had, so, you might call it traditional. If women stuck to the traditionalist culture of adhering to their husband, being dutiful, being loyal, being a doubtful mother, then yes, the men and women could be a great team, and the government couldn't do anything. The
Yeah,
government could not manipulate men through women, because the women are going to side with the men. They're going to say no. Fuck the social services, fuck the police,
you're right.
fuck what the government want me to do with the kids. I'm going to do whatever my husband says. Yes, men and women would be a fantastic team, like they were hundreds of years ago, or like they are in patriarchal societies. But
Right.
it,
But that goes back to the morality is subjective thing. They want morality to be subjective and monogamy to be subjective. And monogamy is not subjective. It is what it is. We do those things purposely. That's it's bred into men not to let your female have multiple partners because that's not going to be your freaking baby. Things like that. But they're telling us morality is subjective. There's a great movie out there. I know you watched it, The Third Man.
I know I'm not seeing that.
Oh, you didn't see the 1950s Third Man with Harry Lime and Orson Welles?
No, not seeing it.
Oh, great movie if you sit down and dissect it about morality being subjective. Uh, and if just go watch it if you guys. It's called The Third Man. It's a 1950s black and white movie with some pretty jazzy music in it. It's one of the jazz guys from that era made a song, and it's really well written, and it talks a lot about morality. And if you watch it, you can come to my channel and ask me about it because I do a big study on it.
Well, why don't you tell the boys and girls at home the synopsis of this movie?
Well, the feminists always get this wrong, and when Anna's walking away at the end, if you know which movie I'm talking about, she's doing the strong, empowered girl thing, and type in the ending of, and she's doing the strong empowered. Harry, is it no Holly Martin is the main character in it, and Holly Martin has a decision to make. It's about morality. He's got a it's narrated by Colonel Calloway. Now, Colonel Calloway is the moderator. He's not the moderator. He's the third person, the narrator in the movie. So when you start looking at what Colonel Calloway is seeing, he's like the ultimate. He's doing the omnipotent narrator, the third person party narrator, where he's the moral judgment of these two people. And now, somewhere during the movie, Holly Martin. He has a wrong name, and he knows he's got a wrong name, and that's part of the thing. He says, "But my name is ridiculous," and it's so. But he realizes that Anna has slept with his friend died, but Anna slept with this other guy, which is selling bad penicillin to, and he's supposedly the third man in the movie. But after you watch the whole movie, you realize that he's not the third man. The the third man is actually Colonel Calloway, and he's the omnipotent moderator in the movie, and it's got that sort of if you watch movies like Little Children, where there's the omnipotent moderator, not narrator, you can get the idea of the morality that they suggest. Now, at the end, she's walking by and she's doing the strong, empowered third girl. You know, she's doing the strong, empowered look. Colonel Calloway's in the car getting ready to drive. She has a choice whether she can walk home, which is like 20 miles, walk by, or Holly at that point could stop her and say, hey, get in, babe. But if he does that, then Colonel Calloway knows that it's a choice between two moralities. And either he can find his friend, sleep with the girl, or be the Mgtow guy at the end and just let her walk by. So at the end, he kind of flips his cigarette, gets back in the car, and they drive away, and she goes her own way. And you go, oh yeah, that wasn't about the penicillin being watered down. It wasn't about everything. It was about the morality is not subjective. He knew that if he would have took that choice to stop her or try to stop her at that point, then Calloway God, the third person omnipotent narrator, would have known at that point. So he chose bros over hoes at that moment. And that's what the movie's about.
Well, you just spoiled it for poor Nuke Proof there.
But go watch it, because you're not going to, it's really tricky. And at the end you go, oh man, this is going all over the place. And then you realize Holly's got a choice. Holly Martin's got a choice in life, and your choices will be your destination. And morality is not subjective.
Well, just a quick note before I jet off. Just to pixelize, if he can get hold of man-woman myths, the triangle of needs for gynocentrism, he discusses how men, women, and government have this relationship, and how. Well, I sort of touch upon it on my last but one video.
Yeah, see, it's the triangle. Now, do you guys know what's that Kepler's triangle, Kapman's triangle is?
No.
It's a little story, and it's about a love triangle. And if I'll look it up, I'll get it to you guys sometime this week. Maybe I'll make a video about it. We used to know it in Mgtow, but we don't know it. It's the same thing, and it's the same thing as Marcus was trying to say in hypergamy. Go watch Marcus's video. Go take a look at his Kapman's triangle, and that movie, and then think about morality in the sense of say Kant and Hobbes, and just think about morality. It's not subjective. And there is these triangle things, and you will have a choice in life. That's the same choice as women have when they do hypergamy. It's the same choice when they screw around. It's the same choice.
Well, if people out there haven't been privy to our discussions, I mean, we have talked about morality and whether it's relative or not in great lengths. Check out the podcast, Evil Men or Evil Women, that I did with Nico Messenger and Marcus.
Yeah, now we get the same thing with the guys that watch the anime porn and do the dressing up with girls, and then they want to push that to the next level where it's actually child porn, and then they go, no, it's not. It's just we're watching anime. But if you push that to the next, and it goes back to the same thing, morality is not that subjective. It's easy to tell a difference between porn and filth.
Yeah. Well, anyway, I have to go now. It's 11 p.m. for me, but it was nice talking to you, Trav, and I'll speak to you guys soon enough. Peace.
Okay, I'll close this out, and we'll close this out pretty good. We had a pretty good chat today. We were talking about a vast amount of subjects, but that's a good subject to talk about. And if you give me time to do the actual research on it, I could probably draw it together a little better for you. And you could probably hear my computer whining. I have to do something with my computer pretty soon because it's just whining. I don't know if I got to clean that out, take it outside, do the blow dryer thing on it, and get all the dust out of there and do that. But it's been starting to whine lately. And is there anybody in the room? I see he's got me wondering about that unknown other that was in the room. And I did invite a few guys in today. I just invited what was that? Top Dollar. I was hoping Top Dollar would show up. I love that guy. He'd be really powerful to have on a throwdown, but this isn't a throwdown. This is just for Trav and whoever shows up. And that's the way it is on the Thursday program. But we were talking about morality movies, Marcus's new video, which everybody should watch. Marcus's new video, Marcus the Metaphysical Mgtow, on it has a lot more to do with morality. And when we talk about morality as Mgtows, and we talk about the way we want to present ourselves in life, and when Messenger says, you know, this is this and this is this, and they call them the monks and everything. Morality is real, you know, how you carry yourself, the ethics you have, the etiquette you have as a man. You take this out into the real world, and you will notice people will, they'll react to you different. When you walk into a room, you will fill that room with what you are, because what you are, you send out into the world, and that's what you get back. If you walk in dressed as a girl with fake dreadlocks on your hair, with makeup on, that's what you're sending out into the room. Do you think you're going to get hired? Do you think the men are going to talk to you? If you walk into a room with a suit and tie, a proper attitude, a proper etiquette, with a proper vocabulary, and doing the proper things, not talking about sex. That's why we say we identify ourselves as asexuals in here, because it's not a sexual identification. It's an identification for the world, because sex is none of their business. So we take that and we say, no, it's none of your business what I do. So don't even bring it up, and don't try to derail the conversation by bringing sex up. And when I'm talking business, I want to talk business with another man, and I want to know he's another man. I don't want him thinking about the girl over there when I'm talking to him. That goes so far into your life. You're going to get looked at like a man. You're going to get the job like a man would, because there's one thing that image projects out into the world. That image projects character. And when people see a decent character in a man, it turns the world on. And that's what the man you want to be. As a Mgtow, that's what you want to present into this world. You want to be a better male. We say work out, take some testosterone, have a little moral ethics, have a little etiquette about yourself. Don't talk about garbage in front of the people. I don't care what all the other buddies are talking about, the girls, or how many they've had and all that garbage. What you present out into the world is what you're going to get back. And wouldn't you much rather get back something nice, something beautiful that you are? So that's why we take when we talk about the monk's code, we're talking about etiquette. We're talking about what we project out into the world, and we're not just talking from no knowledge. I've changed everything in my life in the last 5 years. Everything in my life has come from this Mgtow etiquette. Yeah. Be clean, eat clean, live clean. I don't care if you have a few beers, smoke a few cigarettes or cigars, or, we got the guy that does the pipe, but he projects himself well. And that's what you want to project. You don't want to walk into, and you just don't want to walk into a job atmosphere, a business atmosphere, a work atmosphere as less, as a tranny, because you're going to get Jesus, you're gonna get hammered, and then you're gonna be complaining, and that's what they complain about. It's just the way the world is, and if your moral character isn't up to standards, men will see that. In workplaces, we sort. In the maintenance shop at the steel mill, we sorted because if you make a mistake, it could kill somebody. If you weren't on a ball and you weren't sharp, it could kill somebody. And that's what men do. We have very, very dangerous jobs. We have very important jobs in this life to do. We keep these images and we keep these etiquettes and we keep these systems for very good reasons. Women don't understand them. And that's fine that they don't understand them, but we understand them very well because they keep us safe in this dangerous world that we live. And with that, I don't want to go on about this subject all day, and it's been well over an hour and a half here. And to keep the podcast viewable, if you don't want to, if you didn't view it live and you want to go back, then not a lot of people go back and view it live. Hell, no one really cares what we say about it in Mgtow, but a few people will. And for those men that get it, fine, they get it. Hey, and I just remembered it was St. Patrick's Day, and I'm an Irish male, and one of the most offensive days in the year is when I go out into society this day, and they got all the little green guys with the fighting their fists up, you know, the Notre Dame guy, and those little green guys, and we talk about racism in this country, and we talk about these caricatures like they used to take down of the Sambo guy, and they took down all those characters, but we have one caricature in this country that still sits, and it seems to be okay if you do it to Irish people, and that's St. Patrick's Day. Irish people are just drunken idiots, and we're all 3 feet tall and green. That is so not true. I don't know if you ever looked at me. I'm not 3 feet tall. I'm not green. I'm not a drunk. I'm not a horrible person. And hell, I'm not even Catholic. It's a caricature of something that, and if you look at the caricature of the little skinny green guy that walked, there's a reason why, and you should feel sorry and you should feel sorrowful and bad. When the Irish people got off the boat in the early 1800s, and this is where that story goes. When they got off the boat in the 1800s to come into New York, and there was this new class of Irish immigrant coming in they didn't have nothing to eat for that boat trip, which was like most of the time 3 months, or a month to 3 months, depending on how fast your boat was sailing at that time. And all they would do they'd load them in like cattle into these boats, and then they would throw stacks of grass that they have cut down. And that's what they would have to eat for that 3 months tour, and their skin would turn green. And they would be skinny and starving to death. And then they drop them off into New York Harbor. And that's the caricature we choose in America to keep about a proud race of Irish people. So think about that today. We're not dwarves. We're not drunks. We're not little green people. We were half starving to death. Half our population died during the famine, and people still like to celebrate that today. It's just an awful, awful caricature of a proud race of people. And I think it's one of the things we have to get rid of, the little Notre Dame guy. We get rid of this St. Patrick's Day. You can have St. Patrick's Day and have a religious holiday like that, and that's fine, as long as the caricature is not of that horrible little beast that I see stuck on every window in every building. When I go out there, you want to talk about bigotry and bias? When I see that, I put my head down, and it almost, knowing what I know, about my history, it almost brings a tear to my eye. And people running around with those little green hats on with drunks and beer and saying everybody's Irish today. It offends me. It offends me deeply. Because it's okay if you're a white cis male Irish person to make fun of his race. And that's okay. But don't do it to anybody else. And it's the same thing us men have to deal with. It's okay on TV to make fun of men, say they're stupid, say the bumbling idiot. It's okay to do that. But if you do that to one woman or you do that to one other person of different race, everybody will be up in arms. They fire people for this. But it's okay to do it to the cisgender male because something's okay about that. That's the same thing we get as Irish people. And no one seems to understand that it's offensive. And it's the same offense we talk about all the time here in Mgtow. It's not okay to say males in general are bumbling idiots like every program you see out there. That's not okay. It's not okay to caricaturize black people. It's not okay to caricaturize white people of certain races. It's not okay to characterize brown people or yellow people. That's not okay. And it's not okay to caricaturize a whole gender of men into bumbling idiots. That's not okay. That's what we're saying. So have a happy St. Patrick's Day. When they talk about St. Patrick driving the snakes out of Ireland, and what they mean by that is he drove the pagans out. The pagans were the blue men. The pagans were these priests of a horrible religion that were the Druids. And that's what they're talking about. They drove out of Ireland, not snakes. There was a miracle that they say happened. All the snakes left the island. And there are no snakes in Ireland. I don't know if that's true or if that's not true. I'd have to look into it at one time. But St. Patrick was a warrior, is what he really was. And he fought a war. And it was a horrible war, driving the Druids out of Ireland. And St. Patrick wasn't even Irish. He was English. He was born and raised in England, and he had Gael blood, which his family came from France. Which is kind of really funny. So you all guys have a few beers or enjoy the holiday, maybe put some good food on and think about the Irish culture today, because this is the only day you're going to get to think about the Irish culture or have someone tell you about the Irish culture. Someone says something true about the Irish culture. The only place you're going to hear the Irish culture is from an Irishman, because it's not in any history books. And it's a sad indictment of our history books. Certain people want to keep it out of history books, the horror of the lifestyle during the 1700s to the early 1900s, 200 years of famine, 200 years of slavery, 200 years of abuse. But the proud race in America today is the second fastest growing population of immigrants in America today, and they've assimilated very well. And around the world, the Irish culture, from Australia to America, everywhere you look, is they're doing well now for the first time in probably history. But relate those things and relate them to the bigotry we see on the streets, relate them to the bigotry we see every day practiced towards our American Indian brothers, towards our Ibmore brothers, towards our brown-skinned brothers, our yellow-skinned brothers. Because here in Mgtow, we're all brothers, and that doesn't matter. And with that, I think that would be a good place to end this broadcast. I love you guys, and we'll talk, and Watch that movie, The Third Man. See what you get out of it. It's a 1950s classics, and it does have Orson Welles in it. Not Orson Welles. Who is it? Not Orson Welles. The guy that wrote the book Animal Farm. Was it Orson? God, now my brain just went dead. But with that, we'll end this broadcast. Thanks a lot, guys.